Let's take a look at the 9 highest paid players from 10 years ago and compare them to their modern day equivalents. Rio Ferdinand. 10 years ago, Rio Ferdinand was among the top 10 best paid players in England. He might not have given two shits about turning up for drug tests, but he sure knew how to negotiate a contract, pocketing 100 grand every week, which by 2007 standards was eye-watering. I wonder what he thinks of the fact that Jesse Lingard now makes the same amount. Raheem Sterling. In modern times, the 9th best paid player in England is Raheem Sterling, a man who was once a first teamer at Liverpool on 2 grand a week, and who went on to turn down 100 grand a week. Well, he's making 180 grand a week now and looks set to win the league, as opposed to having to tear his hair out at the Liverpool defence. Don't worry, Raheem, it's only at the World Cup where you're going to have to pretend that you enjoy playing with the ball of frustration that is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Frank Lampard. Like his former West Ham teammate, Frank Lampard managed to do fairly well for himself in the contract stakes, grabbing himself a 100 grand a week contract. Too right for a man who'd go on to become Chelsea's record club goalscorer from centre mid. Javier Hernandez, a man currently circling the drain in the relegation zone, currently takes home 120 grand a week for serving up weekly dishes of offsides, lack of effort and complete disappointment. David Silva. Yep, 2017's equivalent is another Man City player. I swear the class of 2017 isn't just a roster of the wages at the Etihad Stadium. 200 grand every week for David Silva. It's probably worth it in this crazy world of football finances. Michael Owen. In 2007, Newcastle United were 2 years off becoming a championship club, and they were putting over 100 grand into one man's pockets. A guy who, when he wasn't out back with the horses, was stricken down by injury in the treatment room. 4 years on Tyneside, averaging 6.5 league goals a season before tipping his hat and waving goodbye on a free transfer, with the club having plummeted into the world of Scunthorpe and Sheffield United. David De Gea. I bet when Manchester United fans saw David De Gea fumbling around like an old man looking for his glasses back in 2011, nobody would have ever dreamed that he'd become the best paid goalkeeper in the world. I suppose it's indicative of how desperate they are to keep him, and how insecure the club is that he might just ditch them for easy trophies and offer Real Madrid, having grown tired of defenders that just won't listen. Yep, that definitely means you, Chris Smalling. Wayne Rooney. Yep, there was a time when Wayne Rooney didn't decide to hold his own club to ransom, threatening to walk out to Manchester City before miraculously changing his mind 24 hours later. You know, once they'd made him the best paid player in England. So before this ingenious plan was hatched, he was barely able to afford food for his dog, scraping by on a measly allowance of 119 grand a week. I'm surprised the man didn't go on welfare. Alexander Lacazette. Here's an idea. Pay £50 million for a striker, make him the best paid player at the club, you know, over the two lads you're desperately trying so hard to keep, and then leave him on the bench for one of the biggest games of the season. Poor old Alexander Lacazette. The Arsenal striker has probably upgraded his shopping from Asda to Marks & Spencer since moving to London, but come on Wenger, let the man play 90 minutes of football. Cristiano Ronaldo. Again, he probably thought he was doing well when the poster boy of Old Trafford managed to bag a contract worth 119 grand a week 10 years ago. If that was his salary nowadays, he'd probably have his agent brought out back and shot in the head. He currently makes 365 grand a week at Real Madrid. Eden Hazard. Yep, the 5th best paid player in England today is Eden Hazard, another man coveted by Europe's best. Well, supposedly. I would point them to the season where he displayed a great impression of a paper bag for 9 months as a massive red flag. He takes home 240 grand every week, so I suppose he now has enough money to have that Swansea ball boy killed, no questions asked if he so wishes. Steven Gerrard. Club captain of Liverpool, the most coveted player at Anfield, European champion, and the man who was on the cusp of joining Chelsea. This 120 grand a week Steven Gerrard was taking home every week was big money. It was basically Liverpool bending over backwards to keep their captain at the club, trying desperately to stop him from sniffing out the pound signs on offer at Stamford Bridge. 10 years down the line, Danny Drinkwater, permanent bench warmer in West London, is earning the same amount. Yaya Toure. I don't know why Yaya Toure is always whining about birthday cakes. The man gets paid 240 grand a week to sit on his arse. Michael Ballack. Ask Zlatan. If you're a world-class player and you arrive on a free transfer, you're going to rinse that club for all their worth when it comes to wages. You might think Chelsea got a bargain when they picked up the German captain on a free 11 years ago, fighting off competition from Manchester United, but no. The man was on an astronomical amount of cash. Well, I say astronomical, I mean Victor Lindelof makes the same amount nowadays, which is enough to make you question everything you believe in. Sergio Aguero. You might crack a rib every now and then by prancing off to Amsterdam before big games, but Sergio Aguero is worth every penny to Manchester City. The club's record goal scorer makes 240 grand a week. Does anyone complain? Andrei Shevchenko. Turn away now, Chelsea fans, or more so Roman Abramovich, because it was your money. Andrei Shevchenko was the 2nd best paid player in England. Maybe that's why the club were so insistent Mourinho playing, even though he was about as proficient as a dead goose. 9 goals in 48 league games. Even I could do better than that. Well, no, I couldn't, but for 135 grand a week, I'd give it a good go. Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku seems to have developed bathroom shyness. I mean, he's basically turned to ever since Man United fans started singing about his but the goals will return. The club are forking out 250 grand a week for the former Everton man. John Terry. Yep, 10 years ago, the best paid footballer to ever strut his stuff in England was John Terry. A man who over the next few years will go from strength to strength in both his professional and personal life. But again, I don't want to rain on your parade, JT, but in modern times, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Theo Walcott nearly earn as much as what you did. Yep, out of the top 9 best paid players in the league in 2007, 6 of them were English, and were fresh from smashing another round of World Cup penalties into Rosette. For God's sake, even Kieran Dyer almost wormed his way into this list, somehow fleecing West Ham for 70 grand a week, despite providing more use as a D-list boxer. Paul Pogba. Yep, in the last 10 years, the highest wage has more than doubled in size. What could Paul Pogba do with 290 grand a week? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.